There was a child, perhaps like you, who looked at the stars and wondered, not whether they could reach them, but how long it would take. Because in that child's world, possibility wasn't a question, it was a foundation. And perhaps deep down, some part of you remembers that too. Now you don't have to remember when you began to feel worthy. You don't even need to know how the shift begins. Only it already is. Because as you hear these words, your mind can drift, or focus, or either way. These ideas begin to root themselves exactly where they belong, in that deep, fertile part of your unconscious that already knows how to grow. Let me tell you a story. There was a man who for years believed success was outside of him. He chased it harder, faster, longer, until one day he stopped, not because he failed, but because he saw success was never something to chase, it was something to allow. As he began to feel gratitude for where he was, the world seemed to change around him. People smiled more, opportunities appeared, doors opened without knocking. Why? Because he started from deserving, from abundance, from certainty. Isn't it funny how when you begin to believe something deeply, you start noticing it everywhere? A compliment lands, a stranger helps, an idea sparks at just the right time. Not because of luck, because you're finally tuned in to what was always yours. You're learning now, without ever needing to try that. People who feel worthy naturally attract more. Because energy is magnetic, and you're made of that energy. People respond to how you make them feel. And how you feel about yourself teaches them how to feel about you. So when you walk into a room with self-approval, when you speak with certainty, when you listen with presence, you're not pretending to be powerful, you're remembering that you are. You might begin to notice something curious. What used to feel like resistance now feels like momentum. What once seemed like failure now shows up as feedback, a signal, not a stop sign. The very challenges you feared became the proof of your growth. Because all along, it was never about what happened to you. It was always about how you chose to respond. And choice is a muscle. Every time you flex it with courage, it grows. Let's test something right now. Imagine what it feels like to know with complete certainty that you're enough. Let that feeling fill your chest. Let it settle in your stomach. Let it ripple through your thoughts. Now double it and double it again. Now lock it in with a breath. You don't even need to do this consciously. Your body knows how. Because the truth is, you've always been enough. You're not here to prove yourself. You're here to express yourself. When you accept that, when you speak from it, act from it, live from it, the world starts treating you that way too. Because somewhere in the back of your mind, a voice begins to whisper, of course I deserve this. Of course I'm capable. Of course abundance flows to me. Because you've seen the evidence. You've lived the contrast. And now you're choosing the new operating system. It's one where gratitude is the default. Where optimism is the lens. Where purposeful action is the only way forward. And what happens when you take action from that place? People follow you. Not because you shout, but because your frame is unshakable. You know who you are. You know where you're going. And you know that what you seek is already seeking you. Let's go deeper. You know how sometimes a story sticks with you. Not because it was clever, but because it was true in a way you can't explain. Let this be that story. The story where you stopped waiting, stopped doubting, stopped asking for permission, and started playing life like the game it really is. A game where you're both the player and the prize. And in this new game, love is energy, not a transaction. Generosity creates loyalty. Mystery creates attraction. Authenticity makes you magnetic. You don't chase validation, you radiate value because you're the source now. You don't even need to remember every word that I've said, because your unconscious it already has. And it's already working right now. Rewiring, installing, integrating. Like a systems update that upgrades everything, without slowing anything down. So the next time you act from abundance. The next time you speak from worth. The next time you choose from power. And people, they won't even know what changed, but they'll feel it. Because this is who you are now. Not someone becoming abundant, but someone who already is.